What's up guys, it is Sam here from Sam and Gino. But basically today is I'm back in Ireland. I still have a couple of videos from the traveling to basically kind of edit and get up and basically show you guys. So yeah, I'm just kind of back nearly a week now. I'm just trying to figure out what the next kind of steps are for me. But yeah, look, in the meantime, I've just put together this video. It's basically just explaining like which is the best destination for you in Asia for maybe the rest of 2024. So like this is like personally my personal pick, what I experienced in these countries, and just something that you might want to take on board if you are planning on going to that side of the world, which I can't recommend enough. It is a great part of the world, definitely as a holiday. It's yeah, definitely somewhere you should look at going. Like, so number one, and it is my favorite, and like I just love it because everything that about it really. So it is Japan. Like Japan, it's got the mega cities, which every city is a huge city. Like Tokyo is the biggest city in the world. Osaka is like 26 million people as well. Basically right near Kyoto. It feels like it's one kind of big city really. It's kind of connected. Then you've just got like Hiroshima, you got Fukuoka, Nagasaki, which is a smaller one. You've got Sendai in the north and Sapporo as well. So you've got all different types of cities, and they all have like different types of experiences in them cities too. Like, so that's amazing. If you love city hopping, it's definitely a great place to go and visit. Because yeah, why not? If you like city hopping, go between some of the world's biggest cities, and then you get to experience like the very interesting like Japanese culture, which is just so hard to kind of explain unless you experience it. And yeah, at the moment it's becoming a massive tourist destination for 2024. Like Japan is getting records amounts of tourists. It feels like everybody is going there, but they're going there for a reason, because like it's extremely organized, it's so easy to get around, and now it's also affordable. Like, so Japan used to be one of the most expensive countries in the world. Now it's like an affordable destination. If you earn money in euros, pounds, US dollars, it's now an extremely like affordable place to go visit and to go on holiday. Like, so Japan, it only has very few like kind of downsides, to be honest, and the bullet trains like are relatively actually expensive in between the cities. They do have a pass, but they put it up by like 70% last year. So like if you're only making one or two different journeys, you don't need to buy the pass basically. Just buy the bullet train. It's a bit of an experience in itself. And yeah, look, it's a bit more expensive unless you want to get the bus. It's a little bit crowded, especially the tourist destinations, because as I mentioned, it's getting record tourism this year. And we were there last year, and we were in the summer, which is like the low season. So it's crowded, especially like in the cities and stuff, and at all the tourist destinations. Like, it's going to be crowded. You just have to expect that. There's been a lot of recent reports. People are getting angry with tourists as well. They're putting up stuff to stop you seeing Mount Fuji. Tourists are getting banned from whole areas of Kyoto. So yeah, there's a little bit of anger against tourists because they're now experiencing this mass tourism that they never used to have. So it's something that they have to put up with. It's also, if you want to go peak seasons, you want to go to the Sakura season, which will actually be like next March, April next year. These are generally like a colder time to go. So if you like a hot holiday, maybe it's not something for you. Like, so it is a bit colder if you're going in Japan in the main seasons, which is like end of September, November, October, and then like March, April, start of May. If you want to go to the beach and stuff, it's not going to be the place for you. One thing I didn't mention is the very good bar hopping culture that there is in Japan. It's really good. So if you want to just hop from like bar to bar, it's a lot of fun, and you'll just have every bar you go into is going to have something different going on. So yeah, that's number one. That's Japan. It's kind of covered pretty extensively, and I've got plenty of videos on my experience there as well. So number two, it's actually going to be the Philippines. Like, so the Philippines is something that actually really surprised me, and how I really enjoyed it. It was just so good, so many activities. We didn't only scratch the surface. Like, I don't have my video out yet, but it'll be out soon enough. But we only scratched the surface when we were there. It's got amazing beaches, amazing marine life, and like it's somewhat affordable. It's a little bit more than maybe Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. It's a bit more expensive, but like the reasons for it is there's so many islands, it's so difficult to transport everything from island to island. It puts up the price, and I guess look, there's a lot of corporation stuff in there as well. They just want to maintain their profits, and that's just what it is. So trying to avoid like food poisoning and stuff there can be a bit of an issue, especially in like El Nido. You're warned all of the time about the food poisoning that happens there. So you need to actually spend a little bit more money so that you can't go and like get the street stalls like you do maybe in Thailand, because you do run quite a risk of getting food poisoning there. It's just something that happens there, and you just don't want to get it. So just spend the money, don't get sick. So that's another thing I want to talk about, is also like you actually have great opportunities like to get like off the grid. So you can go on these like adventure kind of type trips, and you're gone for like 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and basically with like no proper phone signal. You're out on a boat, you're just with like a group of people that are also doing the tour, and you're just kind of having drinks on this random beach in the middle of the sea. And it's just something that I didn't really see happen anywhere else. I know Indonesia has a lot of this kind of stuff, but we only went to Indonesia, Bali, so I don't really have the best opinions of that place. But yeah, so there's lots to do in the Philippines. There's great kind of singing culture as well. Like, so the Filipinos are great singers. They sing all the time at all the bars and stuff as well. So that's something that you can go to if you like live music. It's definitely better than the other Asian countries where they're not so good at singing. So yeah, as I said, like the main kind of downsides are of it, like the food isn't great. The Western food is expensive. You're going to see it taking up a huge part of your budget, especially if you're on a backpacker budget. It's not the most friendly, like, so accommodation's a little bit more expensive as well. If you want something that's relatively good and like same quality as what you get in Thailand, you're going to be spending maybe 10, 15%, 20% more than you would in Thailand. So yeah, that's also a bit of downside. There are some dangerous areas, such as the southern islands of Mindanao. We didn't go there. Some other areas are somewhat dangerous as well. Manila has a reputation. We didn't actually go into Manila, but also know the traffic in Manila is also a massive downside, yeah. And yeah, getting around is a bit of a pain. So you've got to fly everywhere, or you've got to get really long boats or really long van journeys, and the infrastructure just isn't the best as it is in other countries. But yeah, still, number 2, definitely worth it if you love the beaches, activities, just adventure kind of type holiday. It's the place to go. So number 3 is Thailand. So Thailand has amazing beaches, but they're not as good as the Philippines. Has everything, like has mega cities, has mountains, lakes, beaches, great food, lively party scene. Even though it's not for everybody, the party scene there. And it's well built for everyone, well built for tourism, and it's just easy to get around. You can just book something on Travel Asia and it figures you out to your destination, whereas maybe not the case in the Philippines. You've got to figure it out yourself. So yeah, it's basically got it all. Everyone knows Thailand, you all know about it, everyone's going there. It's the most visited country in that region, and Bangkok is like the most visited city on earth, like, so yeah, everyone knows about Thailand, and it doesn't really need to go on into that much detail, but it does have its downsides. So like, it can be seedy. Sex tourism is massive there. It can be very, very touristy in the areas, which can be kind of annoying in ways, and then it's crowded with tourists. There's also a lot of scams kind of running around, like especially with like bikes, jet skis, that kind of stuff. I didn't experience it firsthand, but I know that it does exist, and some people do get done by these things. And also, it's not as kind of cheap as you think it is, especially if you're going to go in for a long time. You want to stay like all 5-star hotels. It's still cheaper than like Western Europe or the US, but it's not as cheap as you think it is. The prices have increased basically because as the same as what's happened all across the world. Like, but yeah, it's not as cheap as you think it is, but you can't expect everything to be cheap. Like, you can get really, really good stuff in Thailand. Like, you can go to like really high-end restaurants that are from cuisines from all over the world, so that kind of caters like to another niche of people. But yeah, so Thailand is like your all-in-one package. It has everything and just a few of them issues that I kind of mentioned. And yeah, it can be very, very hot and humid as well. Yeah, Bangkok's one of the hottest capitals in the world. So yeah, on number 4, and this is the final one I'm going to talk about today, because like I didn't want to go through all the countries. Actually, not that many countries in that area, but yeah, well, there obviously is a lot of countries, but like less than you actually think. But yeah, so number 4 is Taiwan. I loved it in Taiwan. It was one of the favorite places I've been to. Like the food in Taiwan is my number 1. It's the best food is in Taiwan. The beef pancakes, the bakeries on every corner, in every city, the beef noodle soup, and look, I could go on and on and on forever. Like all the food there was just so good. And we were lucky, like you'll see in the videos, we had hosts that we stayed with on Airbnb. Another guy, he's our host in Bangkok, but he was Taiwanese. He brought us around for the day. But yeah, the people there are so hospitable, and that just made the place so much better. Like you were getting stopped on the street, and they want to know like, where are you going? What are you doing? Where are you from? Just really interested to actually talk to you. So helpful in any kind of situation that you were just kind of like, oh, what's going on here? Because nothing is in English, and just everyone wanted to help you. It was just really good. I love the people, love the food. It's really easy to get around. The transportation, especially around Taipei, is just so good. You can get anywhere. It's not actually that big of a city, so you can get anywhere kind of very quickly. It's extremely safe. Like there's no crime whatsoever really there. It's also very affordable when you're there. It's very affordable. Like you won't spend that much. Even though it's like a first world country, it's really affordable to be in. It's a little bit cheaper than Japan. Aside from alcohol is a little bit is kind of Western European prices. Everything else is affordable other than alcohol, and actually like hotels, they're actually kind of expensive as well. That's why we did like some homestays and stuff, and look, it actually worked out better for us because we got to meet people, and it was great. It was really good. And look, it's got a bit of everything. So you've got like hiking, you've got your city hopping, temple hopping. Some of the temples there are class. Coastal roads to go around, which we didn't actually get to do because we were there during the earthquake. So we actually couldn't go down like one of the most scenic roads in Asia, but that's something that it's like a must do. But the earthquake happened around there and while we were there, so we weren't able to go and do that. And I say Taipei is like a must city. There's just so much to do. The night markets, there's like, can't stress the food. Just eating so much food all the time. Like it was just amazing. I just loved it. Just get onto the downsides of Taiwan. There's not much of a party scene. Like it's a poor kind of nightlife. Like you don't have as many bars as you do in like Japan or Thailand. They're more inclined to go and like have a boba tea. Just as a whole, I know there is nightclubs, there is bars, and some people may say, oh, you just didn't go, which I didn't go, so I don't know, but you can kind of tell that as a vibe from around the place. Like, and yeah, it's a bit colder weather as well, other than their summertime where it's really hot there, really hot and humid. But when we were there, it was kind of always like wet, rainy, kind of just depends when you go, but it's not going to be as hot as like Thailand or the Philippines, and it doesn't have as much maybe beach kind of style life, although there is a lot of beaches like down in the south and stuff, but they're not these like mad tropical beaches that you get in the Philippines and Thailand, although there may be on the east coast. I just didn't get to go, so the reason to go back to Taiwan is to go down that east coast, and hopefully there's no earthquake next time I go there. So yeah, hopefully guys you enjoyed this, my summary of my 4 places where I would go to if I was looking at going to Asia this year. These are the 4 destinations that I would look at, and hopefully you can get like some kind of summary from what I've said here, some of the downsides, some of the pros, and make your own decision on where you want to go. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.